Howdy, folks. We are live. Hang on a second here. I don't seem to have a mic lit. Okay, yeah, it is. Just being... There we go. Okay. My levels were all screwed up. I just need to turn the amp up a bit. Cool, guys. Welcome. How y'all doing? 2:20 in the afternoon. It is April 21st, Morel, Prince Edward Island. Going to be continuing to work on some Dungeons & Dragons module design for my upcoming DnD5e campaign. So, last stream, which was Friday evening, got rolling on building, exporting the first piece of the module that I already built and importing it into my main campaign using Fantasy Grounds. Really pleased with how that worked. And then spent some time in CC3, Pro Fantasy's campaign cartographer, and got that built out for the second map in the dungeon adventure. So now I'm back in Fantasy Grounds, as you can see on the screen here. I'll zoom in. So back in Fantasy Grounds, I'm in my module. My module master is the way I label it, with the idea that I'm going to start actually building the encounters and treasure parcels for the next chunk of the map, presuming the player... Well, the game actually, we may do some character design tonight, but the campaign and primary character design and the welcome back session is next Sunday evening. So the players won't see any of this unless they watch my YouTube videos until maybe 2 or 3 weeks down the road. But I'm just trying to get enough content ahead that we can do, that I've got a full module prepped, and that gives the players lots of time to, or me lots of time to think and decide what I want to do with the next module. I've decided what I'm going to do, as much as I can, is I want to make this Desperate Measures, there we go, Beneath the Abbey Hill. Oh yeah, that's right, I screwed something up on this. So you're going to get to see me do a little bit of CC3, and I'll explain why here in a minute. So, yeah, and there we go, let's show how much train of thought. Oh yeah, I don't know how long this campaign's going to last. It may last the one module. It may last for 20 years. We don't know. We're just that kind of bunch, really. What I do want to be able to do either way is make sure I've got plenty of content done in advance, so that as I go, that there's no stress on me as the GM. The hard work's already done. The worst that happens is I create content that this group of players doesn't see. It'll get used another time. And something, I'm having so much fun. Based on my experience so far, I'm having so much fun doing content for Fantasy Grounds. I just may wind up doing modules just because it's fun to do. So we'll see. So, as I was just commenting, I've made a mistake with this map. And it's kind of not obvious until I try and do this. Add a grid. That's a 10 by 10 box, but I don't know what that means. I don't have a grid anywhere on this map to refer off of. So I'm actually going to have to get out of this, go back to Campaign Cartographer, edit that map, put a grid reference essentially onto it, and then bring it back in here. So we're going to do that right now. So just give me a sec here to get into Campaign Cartographer. A little bit of screen flippy going on. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, and then... Alright, that's fine. Yep, cool. Now, this should be relatively straightforward. The first thing I'm going to try here is I'm going to turn grid off. And, oh yeah, this thing does dynamic lighting, which is pretty bloody awesome. And I could experiment with that on this map. Let's just take a look at that real quick. Add light. So... if I was to put light here, what does it do? And it's a light source, and light is going to be kind of torchlight yellow. And what's it do? I need to read up in the tutorial for lighting, because you can do really cool dynamic lighting effects. So I'm just going to Z that out for now. It's cool, and maybe I'll do it. I've got another dungeon coming, another module I want to do, which is the Rendarin Mines, which is sort of going to be the follow-up after this one. And I think I'll take the time to read up on the how-to for dynamic lighting. It would be really cool to have this all shadowed and everything else as the players move through it, right? Okay, but that's not what we're doing now. Tools, drawing aids, dungeon, hex or square overlay. There we go. I want a horizontal. I don't want it labeled. I want a 5-foot grid spacing. And I want it to be a square grid. And go. And it put it in a really obnoxious red. How about we not do that? And then we... Oh, because I have a really obnoxious red color picked. How about we not do that too? So what I'm going to do is go with a slightly darker gray than the map background. 250 looks good. Now we're going to do hex grid apply. We're going to turn snap and ortho off. How bad is that? Okay, that's not horrible. It kind of disappears here. Yeah, that's... okay. So we're gonna edit the thing, do it, and we're gonna go a little darker. So I went 250. So we'll go to 248 and see how that plays. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit more readable. Now, what does it do to the map? Okay, that's not obnoxious. It doesn't destroy the map aesthetic the way a bright blue does. Okay, we'll keep that. Yeah, we'll keep that. Okay. Now, what I could do, if I wanted to make some of this go away, is then using this color, and then I do a polyfill internal. See what that looks like. So, and you still see the grid on top of that, so it doesn't really do what I want anyway. So we're just going to get rid of it, and we're going to save, we're going to export, and we're going to say it's going to be a JPEG bitmap. We're still 3200 by 3200, all good. Anti-aliasing is going to be medium. Okay. Shout out to Pulse Mafia for the retweet. Appreciate that. And save. And yeah, replace it. It's funny, I'm so used to working with the grid and snap tools in CC3 that I keep forgetting to turn the grid on itself so that there's an actual grid that I can work with from both an aesthetics perspective as well as a visual design perspective. It would make my life a lot easier if I just did that, but I keep forgetting to. Okay, so we can close this up now. And then we can close that up. Then I can grab... okay, so... go here. We're going to open this in a new window. Going to go into campaigns. I'm going to go into Desperate Measures, Images, Beneath Abbey Hill, and that's what it looks like. You can see there's a grid to work with now. Just going to drag and drop that in, replace. Okay, that's done. Oh, this thing is back. You should be up here. Stop that. Yeah, it's fine. Close this. And then Beneath Abbey Hill. And yes, we've got our grid. So just like that, it picks up the changes to the base file. We're good. All right, now we can get to work. So what I'm going to do is just zoom in, oops, on this hunk of the map over here. Keep doing that. It's middle click, not right click. Different software does different things, right? So now I'm going to say add a grid, and I want to grab from here to here as my grid. And yeah, I've just about got it dead on. That looks pretty good. All right, does this screw up anywhere? Do I see any particular blurring? No, it looks like it held pretty good over the whole map. So now I've got a grid onto my work area. So we're going to start out in mask mode. Then I'm going to zoom in down here, and naturally the players are going to be coming in, and some of this is going to be uncovered already. And then, oops, and then I'm going to go shift, and I'm going to draw myself a poly, roughly like that. And that's the starting view for the players. So when they're going to come down here, and that's that. And I'm going to exit mask mode. So the mask is now permanent. We're going to save this. And now I need to start adding stuff. I'm going to resize this map a bit. And grab this corner. There we go. And close that. Now we get into our story. So now now what I'm going to need to do is change a couple things. So just preemptively going to go through. All right, so I'm going to open. Okay. Oops, wrong button. Let's close this for now. And I need to open two of these because I want to test something. If I rename this one, Abbey Foyer, and I call it A, so that's, well, No, I'm going to... Actually, no, I'm not going to rename anything. I'm going to stick with what I had. That's okay. I'll go A's and then B's. Yeah, that works. Okay, never mind. Beneath. There we go. Close that. All right, so we're going to create a new item. Now, just give me a sec here. I need to open something up. And... give me a sec grabbing a file, and this it's a text editor, and I love Notepad++, but it has a tendency to open the last file I had open, and every once in a while it's a file that's got like a password in it or something, so I'm just doing this off screen while I'm waiting, and naturally because I'm a live stream it needs to update 27 other things to open up Notepad++. Please hold. Almost done. Grindy, downloading done, installing stuff. Ugh. Okay, cool. All right, so now can I have my Notepad++? Can I open that now? Would you do that for me? Very good, yay, okay. Alright, so now what I want is my scatter isles to do. There we go. Alright, so... and area 1... so I've got... okay. So now I'm going to pop this down here, and this is going to be B. So my beneath section, so the Abbey, okay, that actually works okay. I've got B1, okay, very good. That's going to work just fine. Okay, so there we go. I'm going to drag this down onto my map, put a stick pin there, that's the Abbey Tunnel. I'm going to go back here and grab this stuff. There we are. All right, and so, okay, so one of the first leads to, of course, is the Grand Chapel. Oh, bloody hell, it's not what I wanted. And there we go. So, all right, looking okay. Just give me a second here. I want to check my Discord. Button. There we go. I've got my tablet set up so I can keep half an eye on what's going on in Discord in case folks are trying to get a hold of me. So just one sec. That's how I keep track of Discord and Twitter. So I've got my main screen over here. I've got my laptop over there, which is what I'm broadcasting off of, and right underneath the laptop is I've got my my iPad. Cool. Nobody. All right, that's all good. Okay. And just give me a sec. I listen to some music here. So I'm going to put on some Miracle of Sound, as I tend to do, because good music. Miracle of Sound. There we are. Wow, little loud. How do we turn that down? Sorry about that, folks. Hope that wasn't as nearly as loud to you as it was to me. So, yeah, as I tend to do, music is by Miracle of Sound. He's Irish YouTube and Patreon music creator. He lets folks like me use his music for free in live streams and YouTubes. No copyright strikes, no grief. All he asks is you give him a shout. Let folks know what it is they're listening to. Check him out. Gavin's great. Follow him on Twitter as well, Miracle of Sound. Awesome guy, great music. It's really good to see someone getting to live their dream. So, yeah. All right, back to this. And hang on, I gotta tweak that volume level a bit. Yeah, that's a bit more manageable. Okay. So, alright, so first thing I need to do here is some narration. What the hell is this? Okay, clear of smell from must and decay, that no mortal creature has stonework is okay, so right away I need to say something there. Okay, so I've made a mistake, but I can fix that easy enough. So we're going to go here. I'm going to go here. And I need a skill check. How do I install? Okay, yeah, that's the format I'm using. So, stone cutting is going to be DC 12, or nature is going to be DC 14. And then that's still really loud, isn't it? Turn that down a bit more. So that's bold and italic, and then in modern history. control number plus. Okay. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing here. I don't know how well you can read that, so I'm going to do the composition here. Control number plus. There. That's got to be much. That's got to be much more legible. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. In modern history, the stone is a heavy pink shot granite that is not native to the area. It is clearly purpose. I'm going to make it a red shot granite. I like that better. Clearly, okay, stonework here is superior in joins and mortar to anything that is done in recent modern history. Stone is a heavy red shot granite that is not native to this area or anywhere nearby. Nearby where? Hang on a second. Birkin. Okay, there we go. That's the name I want. There we go. Stonework here is superior in joins and mortar to anything done in recent modern history. The stone is a heavy red shot granite that is not native to this area or anywhere nearby the Thorpe of Birkenshall. It's clearly purposefully imported here from some distant unknown land. Okay. The stone in the walls. The floor is a common slate. Heavy and dark slate that can be quarried near. Okay, that gives a much better picture of what the place looks like. So now I can go here, drop that in. It becomes... There, that's better. So when I do my skill checks, what I always do is make sure that the players have two options. So I'll ask for someone to make a stone cutting roll. If no one can do stone cutting, then I'll ask for nature. The idea is that if you only make a, what I've discovered as a GM is that if the only option the players have to discover a plot element is a particular skill roll, then almost by definition, if they fail the skill roll, they get locked out of that chunk of the plot. So you always want two options, one slightly easier than the other. Essentially, you want to reward specialists, and then you want to give everyone a failover chance, so everyone gets a chance to play. And it's possible that, you know, the person, you know, you might wind up with a situation where the person with the nature roll rolls better than the person with stone cutting. You never know. Okay, so then that means that that's the IB4E redone. That's okay. And I'm going to grab this and go back here. is of nearly equal quality, because the idea is that this section was built as the Empire had begun to wane. And so things aren't going to be as good, and it's not going to be as exotic. Okay, and this is actually going to be a stone check. I'm going to go the same numbers before. So this is going to be stone cutting, DC 12, DC 10, because they've already had a chance to do this, or nature, DC 12. So basically to reflect that by the time they've gotten here, they've already seen the first roll, and they're probably going to be thinking this way anyway. They're going to have slightly easier odds. It's going to be easier to see what's going on. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, that's got some cool. And that's going to be a bubble. And we're going to go back here and grab this. And then, actually, this is just... And I'm really being weird here. Let me just check. Yeah, okay, it's explicitly I/or. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, that's not bad. Now I'm going to do another one. And I should have... B1A. And in this case, so we're going to drop that there. Okay. Okay, and now we're going to go over here. I really do wish there was a way you could macro this. You know something? No, you can't click and drag that. All right. Howdy, how you doing? Alrighty, so now, so here's the catch. Let's just go take a look at this, and we'll zoom into it. So obviously, the SD here, if you saw me when I made the map, wrote the map up, the SD means there's a secret door here, right? So when I uncover this, I'm going to be very careful in the way I unmask. So the players won't be able to see that. So what I want is to give the impression, if they don't think too hard, just give the impression that it's a dead-end, unfinished construction, right? Maybe they'll stop and think. Maybe their passive their passive perception will be enough to uncover what's going on. We don't know. I won't know literally until we start the game next Sunday. So, all right. So we're going to go here and back, and the corridor ends abruptly with an identical 10 by one the group had arrived in. There is melody. Okay. Stonework on the ceiling gives the impression that another staircase was to be built here, but was never completed. Never really started. Cool. So if the players see that, they may just make the decision, it's a dead end. We don't need to think too hard. Oops. And then now, I need to go look up stone cunning. So I need my player's handbook. Yes, please. Thank you. Races. What does stone cunning exactly do? Because I need to know if it's possible for our dwarf, if there is one. Okay, so the reason I'm checking this, so here's stone cunning here, right? So the reason I'm checking this is because I come from old school D&D background, and dwarves used to be able to have bonuses on detecting secret doors, sloping passages, basically underground stonework in a way that seemed supernatural to other races. So what I wasn't sure was if stone cunning gave that ability here, and no, it doesn't. So that's all right. We'll close that up. So, library, skills, okay, so it's going to be investigation and perception, it looks. So this is going to be perception, DC 12, or investigation, DC 13. I don't want it too hard because this basically unlocks the rest of the content. No, I'm going to go 13, 14. Passive perceptions in this group are going to be high, just because they're all experienced players. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's a good... So, wrong one. It's this one here. There we go. Ugh, bloody hell. So we're going to hit save here. We're going to unlock this. We're going to drag... Oops, no, we're not. Really? There's a couple things they really could do better, and this integration is one of them. But that's fine. And then this is going to lead over here. We're going to do leads too. I'm going to just tap down twice right out of the door. And this leads to Abbey Tunnel. So that's where we came from. And then we go 2. Okay. And then quests. No. Okay, so that's... And then I want to go to Grand Chapel. Okay, so I do have an encounter worth 100. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing, because I like that. So, encounters. Amen. And we're going to go here. And then I'm just going to drag and drop that. So now I have a copy. And we're going to copy this. We're going to edit this. There we go. So we're going to say that that's going to be worth 100 XP. And if they find the... Come on now, don't be like that. I want it to go there. There we are. Cool. So that'll be some XP that can be awarded for them finding that. And there's no treasure here. So that's fine. And that gets this area done. We're going to save that. I'm really pleased about this. This is cool. What I've discovered, by the way, was reading documentation, and it's really interesting. If a player was to be in the game, and they're the person who rolled the DC check, I can actually grab that chat bubble and drag it up on top of their character, so that the only people who actually get this dialogue is them, and then they can roleplay as they see fit. So they can either hide the information that they found it, or whatever. So, for example, if the rogue finds it, and maybe the rogue's not a very nice person, they may think, aha, there must be treasure this way. I'm not telling anyone I found it. So the perception check would be made in the open, and then I would drag the result about what they find with that, or what they discover, to their character. So that gives me a tremendous amount of... back in the old tabletop days, what we would do is literally have some of this stuff written out on like recipe cards, and so you'd pass a card or a note to a player, and the rest of the group would get all paranoid. What's going on? Oh my god! And sometimes the card would just say, "Look surprised," just so that people wouldn't get used to this idea that every time a recipe card got passed out, there's something that suddenly they were under an ambush, or some piece of treasure or major fact had been uncovered. So everyone would get used to the idea that every once in a while it was just the GM yanking their collective chains. So this is really sort of an extension of that old style, where you can keep a little bit of tension at the table about who knows what, and how party is everyone playing, right? How much are they in for it themselves? How many secrets are being kept? So it can be a lot of fun. You have to be careful about that as a GM, obviously. You don't want players feeling they can't trust each other. The players need to be able to trust each other, even if the characters have got some tension. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do here is we're going to make another one of these. And it's going to go here. So we're going to grab that. And grab this. B2. And this is a T in the a T in the caves. A T in the path. We'll call it a T in the path. That's fine. The path to a T is much fun. One more fun. Okay, and then we're going to heading some of this stuff. Okay, so there we go. The path to a T. And we're going to go back to our blurby box. I'm going to scroll this up so I can see what I'm doing. Here we go. Give me a sec here, folks. Continue. Someone's chatting me. Just give me a sec, folks. I just need to answer a question on Discord. Actually... I'm just answering a question real quick in Discord, and I'll be right back, guys. Okay, and then... There we go. Alright. Coordinating with some folks in another channel about a game. Alright, so... Ah, bloody hell, did it again. Come on now. Give me my... There. Alright, and then perception... And, or insight... There seems... perception and nature. There we go. I'm going to change that around. This is much more of nature, and I'm going to say DC 14 or perception DC 16. It's subtle. I don't want it obvious. It's a hint. If they catch it, it's cool. If they don't, they don't. Okay, there we go. That's a good... Okay. There, put it there. Thank you. Okay, so that's the Abbey Tunnel. That gets us back there. And then, likewise, I come over here, I click there-ish. And there we go. Alright. And that's the path to a T. So I'm going to drag my pin here. And I need to actually now change my text because I forgot there's a bunch of you know, some. Bloody hell. Now that's literally just to cause some tension. I'm not going to be rolling for rock falls unless the players start touching off fireballs in here. Cool. Okay. Now this is going to be the first big area they walk into. And so what I want to do is have a few undead down here. So I've established the place is unlivable. In fact, I probably want to change... probably want to change the narration here. The air is stale. Harsh smelling. There we go. So that's back down here, right? Again, just setting the scene. You want to talk about W5. Well, 5 senses. What do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you touch? So you want that, as much of that information to set the scene as possible, right? Okay. Okay. So now, up here... I need some low-level undead. I've already done skeletons. They're I've already done shadows up top. I want something that's going to be a little different. Problem is the group. I'm aiming for a CR2 at most. My XP budget, according to the DMG, creating adventures, creating encounters, creating a combat encounter. So the group is going to be first level, and I'm presuming that there are going to be 4 players, which gives me 4 times 75 XP to work with, which is 300 XP. If I want, basically, if I want to do everything as a series of hard encounters, for now at least, then, and 300 XP is CR2, right? So, what can I do? So I'm going to go NPCs. We're going to... So CR1 type undead. Or do I want to get construct? What have we got in the construct to paint? Animated armor, quadrone. What is a quadrone? It's lawful neutral. Ah, okay, that's a literal. That's a it's a literal clockwork. That makes no sense. Animated armor. One of those is 200 XP. Well, so we're going to create a new encounter. Because that would be interesting. An old abandoned suit of armor on the ground gets up and starts fighting the group. So we're going to check that. That's 200 XP. If I go 2 of them, what do I get? 400 XP. That's a little rich for the group. But... So that would be a deadly encounter. 2 suits of animated armor. Because if I say... What did I say here? Yeah, 475s. So 4 times 100 is deadly, but the definition of deadly is someone might get knocked unconscious. It says lethal for 1 or more player characters, but generally speaking, it's practically impossible to kill a player on an even deadly. So maybe I'm going to do that. We're going to go 2 suits of animated armor. Okay. All right. So now I need to do some thinking. I'm going to close this. Set this here, and then actually, yeah, I just could have left that, couldn't I? Go. This is area 3. The pond cave. All right. Okay, so that means that I can go here and call this the Pond Cave. And there we go. All right. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. That'll be fine. So it's CR2. And then the encounters list is going to be... Oh, why are you... Oh, no, it's because it's this. And then unlock that. Sorry, folks, being a little scrambled here. And that goes to the pond cave, and I can lock that. And then likewise, I can grab this. And it goes there. And the encounter is the pond cave. And we'll have to do a treasure for this, obviously. Alright. Okay, so what do we... Okay, so we'll do the treasure next, because treasure's fun. And I think what I'm going to do is, because this is such a rough fight, I'm going to make a note here. The armor will not attack if the group does not stray within 1.5 meter of the treasure chest. There we go. And we're going to flag this GM. We're going to grab the whole thing. And then we're going to just bold this up. So, if they don't do anything, they can just walk through, they'll never know the armor is dangerous, but if they get greedy, go pry the chest open, the armor gets up and starts trying to bash on them. Like that. So now we're going to create a parcel. The pond cave, there we go. So obviously then we need some items. We're going to need a chest, because that's what it's in. They want a grenade launcher. What? Okay. Sure. No. Like, what? No! Alright, now, tables. Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to give them a little bit of... So there's going to be some +1 crossbow bolts in there. And we're going to put 3d6 of those. What do we get here? Move. Move. 9. So there's 9 of those. This can go away. And then... we're going to put some gemstones in there. You know, there's a better... no, it's the other thing. Oof. Okay, so we're going to... yeah, we're going to go back to items. And then we'll close... We'll move this for now. And then what I want to do here is real quick is type is going to be adventuring gear. It's the first thing we're going to do. And I want to throw a half dozen things that are going to be useful for adventuring in there. A couple of glass bottles. Not immediately obviously useful. You never know what the players will come up with, though. Yeah, I think some caltrops. A case for the crossbow bolts. And then clothes and vestments. What is the description here? Okay, so clothes, that'll be pretty. A decanter. And healer's kit. And a couple. And we're just going to roll 2d4. And 5 vials of holy water. That's actually worth a lot. Those things are 25 gold each, right? So there we go. That's the treasure. And now I just need to roll some coins. So 4d4. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I was hoping what it would do is stick that in there. Okay, so let's do that again. 4d4. And that's 6. Can I just drag that into silver? Yes, I can. Well, that's tidy. And now we're going to do 4d8. A electrum. I'm doing this backwards, aren't I? And then 4d10. And then that's 33 silver. So 6 gold, 18 electrum, and 39 silver. And just because it's annoying, I'm actually going to put a bunch of copper in here too. Got to remember the players that the rest of the world runs on copper. Adventurers tend not to. Players do. The rest of the world does. So there's a decent amount of cash in there. Okay. And there we are. There's the treasure for the pond cave done. Okay, so now I just need to describe this place. I was going to put some gemstones in there, but I've thrown a lot of them at the group already. So I'm not going to do that. Oh, I need to set up the encounter, don't I? Encounter. So, So I think I'm going to put one of the suits of armor actually in the water over here. And the other suit of armor over here. That's those guys placed. Okay, that's better. No, that's actually... Okay, so I'm going to need to go back and edit this and put a treasure chest in over there. That's easy to do. So we're going to hit save. I'm going to close this. I'm gonna... Yep, that's fine. Close. I'm going to go over here. Where do I want that treasure chest to sit? Like, it would be obvious to tuck it in over here, right? But I think, in fact, I'm going to tuck it in over there. So now I need my treasure token bin. And chest large. And then what I'm going to do is make that a really dark red. 170, 180. $164 will do. And we're just going to spin this around and tuck it up against that. And I used a varicolored chest. You hit the tab key to do that, right? And so it spits that out. It's red bound. And then we're going to go up here and save, export, JPEG. Okay, need to take care of something on Discord again, so please hold. Oh, come on now. Alright, give me a sec here. Alright, so just 1 sec, I gotta fix something in my Discord channel. Okay. Alright, so that's Discord issues sorted out. And so let's go here and then to here. So I've got my, there we go, and you can see the chest is now on that map. We're going to go to Scattered Isles, then we're going to Images. I'm going to grab the new Beneath and drop it over here, and we're going to replace that. There we go. And then if I go back to Fantasy Grounds, I should be able to open that map. And yes, it's got the chest there now. And let's just see here. Yeah, it did keep the... okay, so it's kept everything the way I like. That is really smooth, by the way. I do like that. You can change the background, and it doesn't change the layer information stacked on top of the background, which is so nice. Okay. So now we've got our chest over here. We're going to go back to our... and I've got one of the bad guys over here, one of the bad guys over here. So if they walk over, they mess with the chest, the 2 suits of armor get up and start bashing on them. Yay. Easy to do. And now... Okay, so let's talk about our fancy cavern here. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to have to go edit this again because now I've just realized that the way I've got this done is going to be a problem. So we're going to go back and make another change to the map itself. So what I'm just going to do is copy a couple of these supposedly glowy... Oops, not you. Do it. So what I want to do is copy one of these clumps of glowy fungi over here. And I want to copy another one over here. And the reason is I want the players to be able to see the chest and the water with not much work. So we're going to now do a click and drag on this. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. How's that look? Nope, that's actually okay where it is. So the idea is that these are actually light sources. They're about the light of a candle, right? Okay. Yeah, I may actually consider messing with lighting with this. It would be really atmospheric to have the fungi clumps glowing. Right. Okay, we're gonna save. We're gonna export. Yeah, the same thing we just did. JPEG. Save it. Yeah. Okay, that fixes that. We've got our glowies in the right place now. And again, I'm going to just do this slightly differently because it's easy to click and drag this way. So we've got our new Scattered Isles map, and we're just going to drag and drop that in here. We're going to replace. And then we go back to Fantasy Grounds. We reopen that. And there we go. So now we can make our narrative match the map, right? Now there's two ways the players might be coming at this, so we're going to put a pin at both ends. It's the same pin. Okay. So now several clumps of the candle mushrooms around the cave. Illuminate a few interesting features. Evident is immediately, okay, immediately evident is a large body of water. A large pond in the, what's that, north? Hey, Jack, how you doing? Welcome, Jack Unicorn. How you doing? Sorry, I'm working on module here, so I kind of got the head down while I'm typing. Oops, that's empty. Water bottle time, I guess. Working on creating some NPCs and fleshing them out. Cool. DnD5e. Yeah, 5e, cool. Yeah, that's what I'm doing too. As I said earlier in the stream, I'm starting a new campaign 2 weeks from now. Not tonight, but next Sunday night. And so prepping the first module for... got my first ever books today. Oh, awesome, man. Congrats. Welcome to the club. If you got any questions, go ahead and shout them out in chat. I'll answer as I can. Northwest area of the room. As well, the light glitters off the red metal bandings of a chest and the silver of a suit of armor. Okay. Monster Manual, PHP, GM screen. Yes. Yep. Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, I haven't seen any of the new alternative art stuff. I should look that up. £180? Wow, 180 quid, eh? All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. There's a lot of production quality, and there's a lot of value in those books. The way I look at stuff like that is, you know, it sounds like a lot of money, 180 quid, but the flipper to that is that, you know, you go right now in Canada, you go to a movie, you're in for 25 bucks, that's, you know, 15, 20 quid. I think the exchange rate's sitting around 1.5 right now. So yeah, and you get 2 hours entertainment out of it. So you're going to get a lot more entertainment out of it than a couple hours at a movie. So. Okay, so that gets... Now, there's a couple things now that I've put my narration in that I realize I want to change again, so I'm going to do that. Just give me a sec here. Let's go back over here, and I want to put that suit of armor in. So now I want to go to my sorty pokey stuff, knight's armor. Yeah, there we go. That'll do it. And I'm going to set normal. More. And I think it's right around over here I've got them. What I'll do is I'll move the encounter item there. So that's going to be on the map now. We're going to pop back out. The books are well worth it, though. Yeah, okay. Yep, no, it's cool. Alright, we're going to save. We're going to export. JPEG, not rectangular section, just JPEG bitmap. Thanks. There we go. And yes, replace it. And there we go. Yeah, just give me a sec, Jack. I gotta give you permission here, and my machine's being grindy. So just give me one moment here, I'll let you know. Yeah, like I say, just give me a minute here because it won't let you do that until I give you a chance. So just 2 minutes. Just need to wait for this export to finish up because my mouse cursor is trapped here. Come on. Cranky, cranky. Grindy, grindy. There we go. And I've got my mouse pointer back. Now I say, hey there... oops, no, that. Permit for Yeah, permit user. There you go. So go ahead and post that link. Now, why the hell? That's really aggravating, isn't it? I just gave you permission. You're supposed to be able to post. Not sure what's up with that, mate. Jack Unicorn has been granted permission to post a link for 60 seconds, and it's choking on you. Alright, go ahead and DM it to me. Just whisper it to me. I'm not sure what the hell the problem is. Alright, so we've got our map. And now we got our suit of armor showing on the map. So now what I'm going to do is go bring that into the game. So there's Abbey Hill. We're going to drag and drop. We're going to replace. And then I go back into Fantasy Grounds. I'm going to image map, open it. Oh, and I forgot to do something. The Abbey Tunnel. I want to edit this. I want to move. And then regular text, and this I want to do heading. And here, I'm going to drag and drop. Oh, don't be like that. There we go. Okay, cool. Just give me a sec here, mate. That's really odd, mate. I'm not sure what's going on. Add friend. Yeah. Okay, this... My client's being real weird. Here. Just email it there, mate. So what's it like using Fantasy Grounds, as I've always done at session, IRL sessions, but looking forward to online? Yeah, okay. So, it's awesome. It really is. Combat is trivial. Content creation is... So there are two primary tools that I've used. I've spent the past 2 or 3 years now, at least 2 years, as a Roll20 subscriber, paying the pro version at $10 a month, and just started using Fantasy Grounds. And so I consider myself relatively competent with Roll20. I'm a newbie at Fantasy Grounds. Fantasy Grounds is easy to use. The biggest advantage that Roll20 has over Fantasy Grounds is it does more than just D20 based systems. Fantasy Grounds has got a very narrow amount of what gaming systems work with Fantasy Grounds, straight up. So if you're up, you know, no one's done a rule set for Artel Sorian's 2020 Cyberpunk 2020, for example. It doesn't exist. So if what you're looking to do is D&D games, I honestly consider Fantasy Grounds to be the superior experience over Roll20. Both of them have a couple of odd quirks, but generally speaking, I find content creation under Fantasy Grounds much easier than Roll20. Roll20, after 2 years of using it for running, I've been running the same D&D game Monday nights for 2 years now straight. Content creation under Roll20 is awkward, and here it helps. My experience as Fantasy Grounds helps me create content for my players. So yeah. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to zoom in over here. I want to make some slight changes. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter mask mode. Cool. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start everywhere that there's one of these things. I'm just going to unblock the area around it. There's probably a better way to do that. Yeah, in fact there is. So what I can do is I can say, draw me a pointer, draw me a circle, and I want it to be 10 feet. So that's 5 feet. That's a 10-foot circle. Okay, that's cool. So then I can then drag this over here, and then I'm gonna, oops. So now I can go back into mask mode. Okay, that is unmasking, and then that's masking. Yep, cool. So now I'm going to remask this area, and then I'm going to use the shift squiggle to kind of do this. There we go. Now what I can do is drag my, oops. Okay, so now I want to exit mask mode. Going to grab my circle, move it on top of my next clump. Slide my map over. Ah, I see Nightbot has decided to start chatting again. Well, hello, Nightbot. It's been a while. I'm not sure I miss you. I've used Roll20 before a little, but we were able to do it. Yeah. For me, there are two completely different there are two completely different experiences, the tabletop experience versus the virtual experience. In my case, my players are literally scattered across 5 time zones, if you include me. And so that makes getting together awkward. So we're stuck having to do virtual tabletop. And you have to understand that by stuck, I mean there are some things that this literally just does better. Now, if you don't want to have to remember rules, virtual tabletops are awesome because the rules are baked into the tabletop, particularly Fantasy Grounds. So yet again, I'm gonna, and we're just gonna go around here. And there, that's cool. So these areas are now lit from the perspective of the players, which is kind of nice. Oh, there's Matt. I can just turn mask mode, toggle mask mode on and off up here. Dummy. Okay, so we're going to go back into mask mode. I'm going to shift click. And we're just going to go around like this. Oops. So this is the illumination created by the quote candle mushrooms. There we go. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I kind of screwed up. So I'm just going to block that off. Oops, no, wrong way. No, wrong way. It's control. There. Now, I need to... Now I need to stop and think. If what I want to do is do this. Does this make sense? No, because if I do that, the players from down here will be able to scroll around and detect the map is... Yeah, okay, so this is actually not going to do what I want. This is one of these places that that Roll20 is actually a little bit more capable than... Roll20 is more capable than... good grief, than Fantasy Grounds, in that it does this really cool dynamic lighting thing. Now, my understanding is that's in the development path for Fantasy Grounds, but it's not there yet. In Roll20, what I would do is wander through here, draw walls, and the walls would block line of sight, and then I could assign illumination to the characters, and so as the characters moved around, they would uncover the fog of war, see what they could see based on the amount of light they had, but things like walls would block their line of sight. So, that's cool, not critical. I do apologize about Nightbot. He hasn't had anyone to talk to today, so he's vomiting at you. Okay. So, alright, so this is cool. So what I'll do is, once the players come in here, then what I'll do is I'll uncover the areas that have got things to talk about. That's how I'll handle this. Okay. Okay, so I think this is actually a good enough narrative. So we're going to go back into here, and I'm going to grab this, move this up out of the way. Actually I don't need to do that. Why are you being a brat there? And the narration, we're going to just glom this out. I'm going to tag this as player. Okay, cool. Okay, there we go. That gets this room done. There are no skill checks required. Do I need anything else I need in here? Oh, I need to go back and edit my encounter. So I'm going to uncheck my two bad guys, and I'm going to put them back in. So I'm going to put him right there, and then this guy I will put in over here. There we are. So when I trigger this encounter, this guy will literally look to be getting up off. It will literally look like that suit of armor has gotten up. Oh, interesting, Jack. Okay. Love gaming stories. Keep going, mate. Okay, so that gets this room done. So we're going to move this over here. And that brings us up to the next room. Why is there a... Oh, I know what's going on here. Range dice. Thank you. Get the dice off my table. Put all that need away. Okay, so now I want to do another room here. And here I'm just going to do some straight up undead. It's going to be simple. So we're going to go back in here. We're going to grab this. Oops. And this is going to be B4. We're going to call this the Sandy Cave. Why? Because why not? We're going to change this. Okay. Now I want to go back to path to a T. I want to grab this. Just straight up. And that's going to be the skill check. We're going to put it in here. And I'm going to drop this here. And this is going to be a 14. Alright, that's going to be our hint that something funny is going on. Why did you do that? Don't do that. There, that's better. So, this is going to be... bold that, and this is a chat blurb. Cool. Leads to blank. And there we go, even close up. That's slow. That's actually smart play. Yep. Okay. I'm just going to drop that pin right in the middle of the room. Now we're back to doing encounters. Let me... And we may as well just do the parcel while we're here. There we go, that's that. Let's hit save because I haven't done that in a little while. And clear chat, save again. Alright. So now I need some NPCs. We're going to grab them. And I want some undead this time. And CR1 Spectre. What's a Spectre? Tell me a story about Spectres. Life Train. Okay. Not a lot of... Ah, here we are. It's all in the other tab. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna drop a Spectre in here, and again, I'm trying to keep my XP count around 300. If I say 2, what do I get? 400 XP. That's another deadly encounter, so I think I'm just gonna go down to 1 Spectre. That's 200 XP. 200 XP is a little thin for this group, but there's also the problem where the Spectre gets immunity to necrotic and poison, and it has resistances to a bunch of piercing and slash, bludgeon, pierce, slash, non-magical. So this is going to take a while to beat up. So I think we're going to stick with the 1 Spectre. Okay. So that's yeah, that's fine. That's all I need in there. And then, and this is treasure, and this is going to be just. Okay, so literally, yeah, okay, and then we're going to say bold, no, italic, and then I just want to bold the GM note. There we go. Treasure items are scattered throughout the room, in the floor, in the dust and sand. Okay. Okay, so then I just need something interesting. So we're going to go items, and I think I want to throw a full-on Explorer's pack in there. So we'll do that. Maybe some armor. Maybe a suit of chainmail, padded chain, medium armor, chain shirt. Chain shirt of force resistance. Ooh, that's beefy, beefy. What do I want to do here? Psychic, chain. I think I'm going to go fire resistance. And the reason for that is mostly future-proofing the story arc. So they got a nice magic item there. And then just regular weapons. Do I want to throw a +1 dagger, maybe? Black Razor, no thank you. Fancy Longsword, Flail of Warning. Longsword of Warning, okay. While the weapon is near person, you have advantage on initiative rolls. In addition, you and any of your companions within 30 feet can't be surprised, except while magically incapacitated. That's really potent. Do I want to give that out to the group? And I think if I'm gonna do that, that's really putting that a D8 slash and that. I think I'll go with the Scimitar of Warning. I do want to really spiffy. There we go. So there's a couple of others. No, that's too much. That's too much. I'll save that for later. And gems. Hey, Jack, thanks. Yeah, and you have to. What I do for players like that, Jack, is I just got your link, by the way. Is that I don't reward exceptional play. As a DM, I narratively focus on the players who aren't that rules keen. Because it slows the more rules aggressive player down. I find it works for me. I mean, your mileage may vary, obviously. Treasure. We'll just do treasures. I think a better way to do this is DM's reference, and then treasure, random treasure. And this is... and that's going to be 12 gold. But that's kind of weak. It's kind of weak sauce. It doesn't feel very satisfying. I'm curious, what do we get with this? Oh, good grief. Wow, they hit the jackpot. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So, I don't know if you can see that or not, but let me grab this. So, let's see here. Oops, stop that. So, a pile of cash. Yeah, that's way more than I want. But, I mean, it's interesting, but... 3 magic items. Yeah, okay. I think this would be more... Okay, so the treasure hoard will be more in tune with the end boss bad guy. I think. Alright, so that's interesting to know, but not what I want. So, I'm just going to do some gemstones here. Some 10 GP gemstones. And I'm going to do some 25... and I'll do a 25 GP art item. 2, 3, and then one of those, and I can close that up. And then, so I just drag these over here. There we go. So that's a decent haul worth of cash. That's awesome. Yeah, no, if that's the case, then a player like that is fantastic to have in a game. Yeah, for sure. Alright, so that gives me a decent amount of treasure here. I think I'm gonna... Okay, so we're gonna do 3D for gold. Yeah, okay, that's... and 3d6 for coins, for Electrum, and 3d8 for silver. There we go, a little smattering of coins throughout the room. Nothing huge, but it adds up. It's troubling, I want to make it hard, but it means I gotta make it hard. No, absolutely, that is the most difficult part of having different skill levels. And that's the reason what I do is I go completely... If I'm going to do one big encounter, where essentially the group gets to Death Blossom, then I do it as a... Essentially, I go, quote, double fatal. So if a... so for example, I go to the DM guide, and creating adventures, combat encounters. In my case, a deadly encounter would be 400 XP. So I would generate an 800 XP encounter. If this is going to be the big set piece battle, they're going to get to unload absolutely everything they do. That's what I do. Otherwise, I do. If it's going to be a series of adventures, I do everything at hard. 4 or 5 hards in a row really do corrode what the group can do. So everything in this dungeon is essentially either a deadly encounter, one deadly one, as it were, or it's hard. So the group is gonna be tired, and they're gonna have to think and decide how they want to conserve their resources as they've pushed through this. So this is a good little haul of treasure, and that's important for their quest. So I can close that up. That's good. Okay, so it's just a matter of working up the rotation, the narration here for this. Yeah. Okay. Oh. No. I need to place my encounter critters. Move. Oops. Move this over here. And I'm just going to start him, quote, in the middle of the room, right beside the pin. And so, there we go. That's him done. Okay, that's better. Forgot to do that. We'll hit save. Now we got to work on the narration. And I really do feel like I want to touch up the graphic here again. So we're going to go back to CC3. We're going to zoom in on this room. Save now. I want to then cave. I want to go with a darker matte, so I'm going to go with the T5 matte and fractal, and I'm just going to throw that over the whole room. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is immediately drag this from here to here. And then I'm going to redraw the map. I'm going to say below... Oops. Move below... let me guess, that grid's going to be in the way. Okay, then I can go over here and grab this guy. Do it. And then I can move this guy back prior, do it, from here to about there. I've done this right. The lighter sand now sits on top of the darker sand. But it's so you get 2 different textures of sand color there. So that works well. And that makes it visually different. Export this, and it's going to be JPEG again. I haven't looked at them yet. I'll probably take a look at the link you sent me after I'm done the live stream. I'll let you know, though. All right. Getting there. All right, there's the updated version. We'll just minimize this. So that looks good, and yep, that is now a noticeably different room, which is what I want. I'm going to close this image here. We're going to go down to my... There we go. So I'm going to grab Beneath Abbey Hill, drop it into my Fantasy Grounds folder for this module. Replace, Zot, go back into Fantasy Grounds, reopen it. And there we go. You can see that it's picked up the graphic change. Cool. So there we go. Our Sandy room is now done. I just need that narrative. I need to finish my narration, and that'll be it for today, I think. So we're going to go down here. Here we go. That's a real simple blurb. And that can come in here. We're gonna tag this so that it is a narration block. Hey, thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. All right. So, and there we go. And so that takes care of this room. After that is going to be, I've got 3 more rooms to do, and then this module will be completely done. I don't anticipate the players getting anywhere near this far. It's possible that they would do a right turn instead of a left turn. That's fine. I forgot to turn the volume down on my broadcast machine, so you wouldn't believe how incredibly loud that subscription tone was. You just scared the hell out of me, man. Thank you so much for the subscription. I appreciate that. That is awesome, Jack. Sound settings. Can we turn that down just a little? Turn that down just a lot? Yeah, there we go. Wow, that still winds up loud. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so thanks very much for the follow. I really appreciate that, Jack. It's cool. So the plan is I'm going to be doing this kind of stream at least once a week ad infinitum, basically building content, doing full-up complete modules within Fantasy Grounds, so people come in. That woke you up, did it? Yeah, so I've turned that down a little bit. The funny part is, officially, is I have the desktop audio turned down, but I don't know why it did that. Anyway. So, yeah. Thanks so much. So, yeah, the idea here is that I'm going to be working on this 2 to 3 nights, 1 to 2 nights a week is the plan. And developing content. Right now, I don't have any immediate short-term plan to release it. Yeah, no, anytime, Jack. That's cool. So I don't have immediate plans right now to be releasing content as modules on Fantasy Ground, but honestly, this is so much fun. I can't. It's just my nature that I'm going to want to share this kind of stuff. So once I get this module done and my players run through it, I may be posting it up for other folks to download and play. So yeah, there we go, Beneath Abbey Hill. So I've got 3 rooms to do. I've got the Infernal Cave, the Guard Room, and the Infernal Temple. And these are going to be relatively complicated. But that gets me plenty done. I feel like I made some really good progress today. Let me close this one up. I think the players are going to be excited when they get into this. As I say, there is the entire top of the map they've got to go through first, which is this map up here. Oops, not you. The old Imperial Abbey. There we go. So they've got this whole space here that they get to walk around and explore and see what they see. So the map you were just looking at, that underground dungeon, is under the hill over here. So the idea is the red dashed lines are contour lines as the hill kind of goes up. So there's a statue here that if they make their perception check, they realize the statue will move, and if they can make a high enough strength check, then they can move the statue. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. Yeah, Theater of the Mind is a lot of fun. That is a long-standing tradition. That's sort of how I started playing D&D. It was, we did hex crawls, we did box crawls, but a lot of the more cool moments in our adventures were all Theater of the Mind. I'm total respect for that. So let me just come down here. I want to. Oops. So what I want to do is I'm actually going to go into. Unlock this. We're going to go into mask mode. What I'm going to do is actually uncover this, and then what I'm going to do is, I think it's Control-Shift. Oops. Yeah, alright. So then I can draw this kind of polygon around the inside edge and do a much neater job of, and we're going to come up here, down here, there we go, and that does a much nicer job, and then I can just grab this hunk and fill it in. There, that's a much better job. So we're going to save this, going to clear our chat, and then I type in /export, and then select all data. We're going to export all the good stuff. And there we go, and we're going to export that. And that is that done. So now this is all in my Beneath Abbey Hill. I'm going to close that. I forgot to check those first. So then we're going to close this as well. I'm going to re-export that just to make sure those maps are in the locked state. Select all, export, and module exported successfully. All right. So just give me a sec here. What are you doing, dude? Alright, give me just a moment here. I'm going to exit out of here. go into my other game, and I'll show you what this looks like when you bring it in. So I'm going to load campaign, Scattered Isles, start. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so then under library, we've got Scattered Isles. And there it is. Okay, so it didn't keep the mask. That's interesting. So I'll have to manually... Okay, so it doesn't keep the mask. I'm going to have to manually reapply the mask. That's a bit of a drag. Beneath Abbey Hill. Okay, that's beneath Abbey Hill. What about the Imperial Abbey? So it doesn't keep... Oh, it did keep the mask here. That's interesting. But no, that's the old mask from the other day when I was messing around. Okay, so you have to so it's not going to save masks from imports and exports. Got it. Okay. So I would be better off going here. Edit and mask mode on. And mask... delete mask, and then, okay, that's no fun, don't like that at all. Okay, well, then we'll just, okay, so we're gonna have to, that's a bit of a drag. Okay, so that's, yeah, there's got to be a better way to do that. Whoops, stop that. Oh, it turned mask mode off for some reason. There we go. Interesting how this works. Okay, this is going to take a... This is kind of an awkward way to have done it, but I get it. That's fine. In point of fact, what I should have just done is uncovered the whole thing. Like that. And then I'm going to zoom in and manually reapply the mask. So to do that, normally you hold red. If you click Control, it goes blue, and this is mask add. And then there we go. And then I'm going to go down here. I'm going to give myself my little sketchy tool the way I did prior, and I'll just trace the inside edge of the arc here. And again, I'm going to come in a bit because of the doors. And then that's just a blue blot. There we go. And there we go, that tidies that up a bit. So that's the mask redone for that. And then I can lock this. Tidy. I like that. Okay. And that gives us our... Oh, bother. Thought I had unmasked all that. That's fine. And that's all that done. Cool. Alright, and I can lock that and put that away. Okay. So that is that prep done. And I may as well go in and just do Abbey Hill now. And yeah, wow, that's kind of a drag. I mean, I get why, but... And then we're going to go E. And I'm going to just sort of do this little arc. And back. Oh, that didn't work. Bother. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. I keep hitting shift. Sorry, I keep hitting control, so it's adding mask, not removing it. Dummy. Okay, there we go. There we go. And that's better. Hey, welcome back. Okay, and that's the module in-game. So what's cool about this is so I can go to my modules, and I'm just gonna... Yep. So, we're gonna say... Scattered Isles. So here's the cool thing about this. So I go into my modules, and I can go down here, and if I hit unload, all that module content just goes away. It's no longer available in my library, blah blah. It's no longer available up here. And when I want it back, I just load it in again, and there it is. So yeah, I really do like the way the module system works for Fantasy Grounds. It makes it easy for me to build distinct and concise chunks of the adventure in logical blocks, and then bring them into the game, as opposed to having stuff just piled up everywhere, which is sort of the Roll20 thing. Is it's really hard to say, well, I don't need this. I've got battle maps from 2 years ago in Roll20. Why? Because if the players need to refer them, there's no easy way to get to put them back on the snap of a finger, right? Alrighty. That, ladies and gentlemen, is 2.5 hours on a stream. I think I'm done. It's coming up on 5 o'clock my time. I think what I want to do is go get myself something to eat and chill out a bit. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Appreciate that. I hope whatever it is you're playing is a lot of fun. As I always tend to wrap up my streams, If you're going through hard times, there's no shame in asking for help. Everyone's been there. I have. Most of my friends have. Nobody wants to find out a friend opted out without asking for help first. So your friends are there for you. Use them. Talk to them. Hang out. Invite them to a game. Whatever. It's amazing how good your friends can be for you. Take care of yourself. Have fun with whatever it is you're playing. And hope to see you in a few days on the next live stream. All the best. Cheers. Bye-bye.